What's up guys, LJ Crypto back with another video. If you like my content, please subscribe, hit the share, like, and comments button. And always know that it is my goal to help you become financially free through the crypto market. So let's get started. So in this video, I want to talk about an up and coming crypto project that's been around for maybe 9 months now. Has it been? Yup. This is probably by far one of my most intriguing. This is one of the most intriguing projects to me as of right now. One of the ones I'm really most interested in. Very cool. And that is GRT, the graph. I've been thinking about making a video on this for the longest. And it's long overdue. I've delayed this video so much, but here we are. So this is the website of the graph, right? So we're gonna scroll down a bit on this page, and then we're gonna get into it. Get into the details of this this technology. So basically, I'm gonna say this too. The graph is considered the Google of the blockchain. So yeah. So there's this cool mechanism that the graph has. Subgraphs. We'll get into that. Say goodbye to custom servers. Web3, of course. Yep. Support networks. These are the 4 groups of people that help to contribute to the graph network. The graph products, readings. The graph has a blog on here. Live products that are using the graph. And some comments and tweets about the graph's protocol and what the graph is backed by. So yeah, that's the first page of the graph. But yeah, now let's get into deep dive into what the graph is. So now let's deep dive into the graph. So all the information about the graph is in the documents, of course. So the graph is basically a decentralized protocol built on the ETH blockchain, and the graph's main goal is to index and query data from blockchains. So they use examples like Uniswap and NFTs that are complex. Their smart contracts are complex, and because these smart contracts are complex, it is really difficult to read data that is beyond basic. So they use Bored Ape Yacht Club as an example. That's a type of NFT. So it's easy to get like simple data from this, like ID, supply. But anything outside of that, like search, trying to get like characteristics of the NFTs is going to be a lot more difficult in regards to obtaining that information. And it says to get this data, you will have to process every single transfer event ever emitted, read the metadata, and so on. And just to show you what a transfer event is, I made a little simple smart contract. So I made an event here. This is like a simple wallet. So this is the event I made. and I emit it on this function. So I sent Ether from this wallet, from this address to this. This is 1 ETH, and this is the transaction log here, the event log. Previous owner was this, right? Address. Then the current owner is this, and then this sends this logs the amounts that was sent. So yeah, that's what a transfer event is. And yeah, so they're saying that to do one simple process of obtaining, of querying data on the blockchain, it could take hours or days to query data from a dApp. There's also building your own server, but that can cause failures, and just it takes a lot to manage that. And indexing blockchain data is super hard, and that's basically what the graph tries to solve. So with the graph, you can make APIs called subgraphs that query with a standard GraphQL. GraphQL is another application that is used. So yeah, this goes to how the graph works in more detail. So this is a little diagram that they showed to give you basic better understanding of what happens in the graph. So following steps: a dApp adds data to ETH through a transaction on the smart contract. The smart contract emits one or more events. Graph node continuously scans ETH for new blocks and data for your subgraph they may contain, and so on and so forth. A WASM module creates or updates the data that entities that graph node stores in response to ETH events. So that's a basic idea of how GRT works. Now we're gonna go into the groups of people that help to contribute to the graph protocol. Well, but first we'll get into the overview of the network. And now getting to the network overview. So yeah, these are the groups of people that contribute to the network. GRT ERC20 token, of course. So yeah, let's get into it. So first one is a developer. As a developer, you can create subgraphs, and subgraphs are APIs that will index data in your smart contracts and dApps. Tells you can use a testnet like Ropsten, Rickaby, or Coven, and you can test it out on a fake blockchain like Ganache. This might be your first time hearing those names, you know, especially if you're not a developer, been learning a bit about it. And yeah, this basically gives you the steps on how to run this on your terminal. This is a lot of details, so I'm not really gonna go too much into this, because this is very, very specific for developers. Yeah, very specific for developers. And of course, you want to dig deep into this stuff, you can view the site yourself. So the next group of people will be indexers, and these are node operators for GRT that provide indexing and query services. Indexers earn rewards through query fees and indexing rewards. Also from a rebate pool shared throughout the network. Indexers, they can lose their ability to index. They do any malicious behavior, like serve incorrect data to applications, right? So there's a lot of FAQ questions here, but let's say the most important one is this. So the first revenue stream is query fee. So payments for servicing queries on the network. These are mediated through stake channels between indexer and the gateway. And then there's indexing rewards. These are distributed to indexers who are indexing subgraph deployment for the network. They also have proof of work. Are used in the network to verify that the indexer is indexing the subgraphs they have allocated on. So I know there's also proof of work, proof of stake. I know there's proof of history for Solana. Haven't made a video about Solana. Solana is very complex, so maybe I will make a video, maybe I won't. Next is Delegator, and this is probably the one that you can get into as an investor, such as myself, which I will show. So basically a delegator is the same, different name for being a staker, locking your, in this case, locking your GRT. So there are risks in delegation. So first you have to pay a delegation fee. They give you an example. You delegate 1,000 GRT, you'll lose 5 GRT. 5 GRT is burned. There's a delegation unbonding period. If you want to undelegate, unstake, you have to wait for 28 days to start transferring your funds or get them out of your MetaMask wallet. Pretty simple as that. So as a delegator, you choose your indexer when you want to earn rewards. So one of the first things you want to keep an eye on is indexing reward cuts. So we'll use this picture as an example. So for this indexer here, their reward cut is 10%. So that means indexer will earn 10% and you, the delegator, will earn 90%. But for the second indexer, the indexer will earn 80% and you will earn 20%. And it's basically the same concept with query fee cut. So yeah, when you choosing a indexer, you want to choose the lowest percentages as possible. They give out a formula for calculating your indexing rewards, or yeah, they give a formula out for that. Also, the amounts of shares, your pool share in the delegation or the indexer that you use. So there's two other things you want to keep track of. So you want to keep track of, like, you want to keep in mind before you choose an indexer, like where you will stand in that indexer pool, because the bigger your share in the pool, the more rewards you get, right? Also, there's delegation capacity. You want to make sure your indexer isn't delegating. So an indexer, I forgot to mention, an indexer, they had to stake at minimum 100k GRT, I believe, to become an indexer. But they have this mechanism. So the indexer staked 1 million GRT, their capacity is 16 million. and if they go over this capacity, your delegation rewards will start to decrease. So keep in mind that when you're choosing a indexer. And next we're gonna get into curator. So moving to the last group of people that contribute to the network, curator. Curators are critical to the graph. They use their knowledge of basically the crypto blockchain to access and signal subgraphs that should be indexed by GRT. So through the Explorer, curators are able to view network data to make signaling decisions. Rewards curators. GRT rewards curators that signal on good quality subgraphs. Yeah. Also, they earn even more rewards when they signal subgraphs more early. So yeah, pretty nice. So this talks about a bonding curve. Each subgraph has a bonding curve on which curation shares are minted when a user adds signal into the curve. So by the looks of this, so shares basically get more expensive over time. I would assume from here. And the more maybe also the more pricey GRT gets, the more expensive a share would get. So yeah, I believe that's what they would what they're talking about. Then they give a scenario. I'm not gonna really go into that. But yeah, how to signal. Let's see. Yeah, I'm not gonna go too much into that, but I do want to talk about this. So, for any consumers to be able to query a subgraph, the graph must first be indexed. And indexing is a process, of course, where data is organized and can be queried and found faster. Basically, I mean, signaling a subgraph basically means that a curator is searching for subgraphs that are good quality and deserve to be indexed on the GRT protocol. And making a subgraph is permissionless, meaning anybody can utilize the GRT protocol. So curators have to choose carefully what what subgraph they signal and add to the network. So yeah, that's why curation is very important for the graph protocol. Let's talk about some risk. Curation fee. The query market is inherently young at the graph. There's a risk that your APY may be lower than you expect due to nascent market dynamics. So I'm not gonna go into all of this, but yeah, that's basically what curators do. I feel like we got the important stuff out the way. Let's get into some few extras here. So, Subgraph Studio is basically the launchpad of when a developer wants to make their subgraph. Not gonna really get too much into this. Yeah. Then they say, well, multi-sig wallet. If you don't know what that is, that's basically when you trust on two people to basically secure that wallet. Yeah. So there's that. Some other stuff. So this is the Subgraph Explorer. As you can see, pull together. There's a video I made, so pull together is using subgraphs. So yeah, this is basically all of the DApps, DAOs that are utilizing GRT. Really cool. Yep. So just want to show a couple of things. So this is my address. Don't have any subgraphs, not indexing, not curating, but I am delegating because I am an investor of GRT. This is my GRT. I've delegated. These are my rewards that I've earned so far. And this is the indexer. You can see a query fee cut, the other reward cut, and yeah, pretty nice. Also, blogs. They have a blog channel or tab on here, so you can check this out. Security. They have a little bug bounty going on. I'm not sure if this is permanent or this is something temporary. So that's pretty cool. You can find a bug for the graph to make their protocol more secure. And they also have jobs. Become a Solidity engineer, a software engineer, front-end engineer, or I can also say developer, a writer, researcher, UI designer. Pretty cool. I mean, if I were to work with GRT, that's probably the job I would aim for. So pretty cool. 3 years experience with Solidity and some other skills you gotta have. And yeah, that's about it for GRT. That is the end of the video. One of the coolest crypto projects out right now. I might, implement. I might use GRT myself and create a subgraph. Maybe not. If that happens, I'll make a video about it. But yeah, once again, if you like my content, please subscribe, hit the share, like, and comments button. Turn on the notification bell whenever I come out with a new video. Check out the description below, and I will see you in the next one.